All right. So Queen of Cups. I say this every time. Whenever a court card comes up as an underlying energy, I do feel like it's the energy of the person or the people, in this case, that I'm reading for. So the Queen of Cups, she's very heart-centered. She's nurturing, she's loving, she's caring. She comes from a heart space, you know, beautiful energy. And, you know, it is a general reading. So some of you may be dealing with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but they'd have to be really central to your story. And the signs don't own the cards, right? They just lend their characteristics. So it's going to be someone, or either you, I mean, think about it. If we come up as the Queen of Cups, that's because we might be dealing with the King of Cups. Whether it's the same sex or opposite, it's just that those energies go together, right? The divine masculine, the divine feminine. So it can be that we're taking on those characteristics, that we are dealing with someone like that. So that's why I always say that. But she always knows what her cup is worth. She always knows what she feels. So I kind of feel like this is you this week, just maybe deciding who to give that cup to, right? Or are you coming from a heart space? Both the King and Queen of Cups, I always see them as, you know, still waters running deep with them. They don't always say how they feel until they're ready to. They know what they feel. They're very aware of their feelings. But she knows, she holds a cup close because she knows what her cup is worth. And she always has the most ornate and most elaborate cup out of all the cups court cards, because she knows what her love is worth. You know, very healing energy, very intuitive energy, sorry, is what I'm trying to say here with the Queen of Cups. And we have more kind of healing energy coming up with the Star. So if you've been going through a difficult time, this might indicate that, you know, this is the week where things start to settle, the energy start to settle a bit more. You can kind of get your breath, you catch your breath a little bit. The Star coming up here as the focus, I mean, two very beautiful energies straight away we have for you. The card for Aquarius, some of you may be dealing with an Aquarius, but this is following the Star. The Star comes in the major arcana after the Tower. So again, there's this kind of implication. It's not here, whether it happened last week, last month, last year, of something difficult happening, something shocking happening, something that shook your world up. And it kind of feels like this is the week where you start to see a path forward. You start to understand that, okay, my star is still there. And you pick a star, right? Because look how many stars are in the sky. You have to pick one. Which one is your guiding star? Which one is the one that gives you hope? And that's your dream. We talk about the Nine of Cups, which is the wish card. The Star is the major arcana, you know, equivalent of that, the major arcana energy of your wish, of your dream. And knowing that, you know, it's the hope that comes from new beginnings. The hope that comes from new beginnings. And there is this new beginning coming up here, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Love this energy because this is what our focus is on. And so some of you might be looking to start something new, and you're coming from a heart, like maybe in the past you allowed your passions to try to direct you there, or practical issues, or, you know, this logically looks like the right path. Now it's like, if it doesn't make me happy, I don't know if I want to do it. That's the kind of energy that's coming up. And the happier it makes you, the more hopeful you become, even if you're just at the beginning of this. Now, what is this related to? We have the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands says that you've got a great foundation here, which is interesting because the Tower, the card that comes before the Star, and I know I keep talking about the Tower, but that's how I work. You know, the cards, when they come up, that card has come up for a specific reason. We could have got the Nine of Cups there, right? But we haven't. We've got the Star here. So that it tells us something, that why has this card in particular come up? And it may have been that, you know, the Tower shows us a faulty foundation. And it feels like you've worked hard to rebuild a stronger foundation with the Four of Wands here. Now, this is the card for celebration. This is commitment to something. Not a lot changes or moves when the Four of Wands shows up. It does say, look, you've got had a great start. Celebrate how far you've come and get ready to commit further. Like, where are you going to take this now? You've got a strong foundation, but where are we going to take it? So this can indicate a house move, a job move. It's a change in the energies around us, right? Because wands are the energy that we put out into the world. So if you're working on something creative, there might be a new, you know, you may have started working with a new creative group, redecorated your house. You know, it's at a mundane level. It talks about those kind of energies, changing the energy around us, something that supports our own creativity. So the Four of Wands does. So all of this top row, it's great. I mean, it is a really firm, solid foundation. But Sagittarius, where are you taking all of this? That's kind of the next step now. Where are you taking this energy? And that's kind of what this week is. Reassessing, looking at, what am I doing with this? And you step forward with the Ace of Swords. That's the card that comes up in the present. The Ace of Swords, it's a victory card. It talks about success, victory after a difficult time again. So there's that implication again of having passed through something difficult. The Ace of Swords, if you think about it, the cycle runs from the Ace to the 10 of Swords. So the 10 of Swords, that's that card with the guy with the 10 swords in his back. But you've plucked him out, you've gotten up, the worst is over, you're going forward. You have a new truth, you have a new perspective, you have a new way of thinking, a new way of communicating. And what sits above the Ace of Swords? The Queen of Cups. So it's now, if you haven't been communicating, or, if someone that you're dealing with, remember, it is general, can go both ways. If someone hasn't been communicating how they feel, that seems to open up. But if you're dealing with someone else, or if you're going to communicate with someone else, it kind of feels like it's different. Mercury retrograde might work in your favor here. Because one of the things, people say that with Mercury retrograde, be careful how you communicate, be careful what you say, but it's because we're thinking differently. Mercury affects our thoughts, the information that we get. So we're going to communicate in a different way because we're coming from a different place. And I kind of feel like that works in your favor here, especially if you start expressing how you feel. If you're saying, well, this is how I feel, this is what I love, this is what I want to do, and you go forward with that. This is true balance between head and heart, right? With these two coming up. She's formidable. Imagine knowing how you feel and then having your sword of truth to step forward and say, this is what I feel, this is what I love, this is what I'm willing to put into this. This is the cup that I'm offering. Now, let's get a bit specific. So if this is in a relationship, it may be that you kind of decided to be with someone or even done self-work to get to a solid place where, I'm ready to date or I'm ready to get involved with someone. Whatever that work has been, there's a new star, a new kind of dream that you have, and you're going forward in a different way. I see with the Ace of Swords, it's a new truth, a new way of communicating, new ideas, new perspective on this. Even if you're completely single and you're not interested in a relationship, this may indicate where you're thinking, I don't know if I feel the same way about being in a relationship. Maybe you've never wanted a relationship and now you do. Or you always wanted a certain type of person to be, I don't know, whatever. Your heart's now telling you that you want a different kind of relationship. Even if it's work, you may have changed work, or you may have been thinking about changing a job, and suddenly you have a new idea about your career path or your business. You have a new truth, and that's what you're willing to go forward with. Now, if you can, remember, the future never just happens. If you can go forward with your new truth, if you can live from a heart space where this is what I truly love. And whenever I say anything like that, people always say to me, well, that sounds great, Jay, but I've got rent to pay, or, I've got bills to pay. I don't have that luxury. Well, yeah, then if that's the belief that you come from, you've still made a choice, you've chosen that that's more important to me. I will go through this job. I will go through this difficult phase because of that. Whereas for other people, it might be that I don't care. I'll take less money if I have to, but this is what I want to do. There's no judgment. Whatever you decide to do is right for you. It's your truth. That's your sort of truth. But it's about owning it and being clear about, this is what I believe. But it is an ace. Aces are opportunities to do something new and begin new cycles. But they are just doorways that get presented to us. We must walk through them. And like I said, nothing just happens. If you can come from a heart space, if you can step forward with your new truth, victory. We have another victory card. So we have 2 victory cards coming up here. The 6 of Wands is recognition for whatever you've done. And I kind of get the sense this is a long time coming. This is not something that you've just started doing in the last couple of weeks. This is something that you've been working towards for a while with the 4 of Wands here in the past. That foundation has been there for a while. You've been trying to build on that foundation. But there's like an implied feeling of frustration here, of not being able to push forward. And this is that eureka moment. Oh my God, yeah, why didn't I think of this? This is the way to go. And it makes you happy. It involves coming from a heart space. And it says you will be recognized for this. You will, but this is about standing up and saying, hey, look at me. I mean, this guy had to climb on a horse, hold up his wand and have that victory wreath on it. No one kind of did that to him. No one put him on the horse. He got up there. This is about showcasing, look at me, look at what I've done. Taking pride in everything that you've done, right? Taking pride in who you are. And that works even in relationships. You know, sometimes a lot of people don't have confidence. They don't have the confidence to say, look at me, or, you know, they don't know their own self-worth. They wait for someone else to show them their self-worth. No, this is you knowing your truth, stepping forward and saying, look at me, look at what I've achieved, look at who I am. I take pride in who I am. I take pride in the work that I've done. And with a star sat above the Six of Wands, it opens up a new dream maybe, or a new path, or the star is also a helping hand. So if you've been looking for help or looking for, I don't know if this is, especially if it's to do with business or work, I'm getting, you know, that you've needed some kind of support or a different group to work with, that can open up here with the star coming in. It's guidance, it's help, right? The star guides guides you on your path. But what's the advice? Because these two cards always indicate how we get to this, these two. And we have the Alchemist, that is the Magician. And this card very clearly advises you to have the confidence to use what you already know. And it sits underneath the Four of Wands. It's that foundation. You have a solid foundation. You can't doubt what you know. The lemniscate above his head, right? That's knowledge. The tools that he has. I mean, he's looking in the book. He knows what to do. He has all the equipment that he needs. So do you. But it means nothing if we don't use it, if we don't have the knowledge, or we don't, if we don't have the confidence, to use the knowledge and to use the tools. The example I always give for the Alchemist or the Magician is, if you go into your kitchen, you open up your pantry or your larder and you have eggs, flour, sugar, butter. You might have all of those ingredients. You might have a recipe in your head, right? Of like a Victoria sponge or something that you want to make. But just because you have the knowledge of the recipe, just because you have all the cake ingredients in the cupboard, that doesn't equal a cake. You have to kind of measure it out, go with that recipe, combine the ingredients, put it in the oven, then you have a cake. So it's the confidence. It's the confidence to use what you know. And I would really encourage you to do it, especially with that Four of Wands there. You've had a solid foundation for a while. I just get that things have been kind of stagnant or stuck. You've not seen a path. You've not seen a path. You've known how you felt, or you're more clear on how you feel now, especially with that Ace of Swords there, the truth that's coming in. But this is crucial coming up at the heart of your reading. Right. Let's get you some oracle cards and see how we can expand on this. I really like your reading, Sagittarius. Choose love. You always have a choice as to what you should do. That's what I said to you, right? We always have a choice. Even if we say, well, I have to do that job because of whatever, or I can't leave this relationship. That's still your choice, guys. That's still your choice. And it's okay. But it's just owning it. And that's her. She chooses love. She always chooses love. She's not that kind of logical. She's not the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords will always pick logic over her heart. Queen of Cups will always pick her heart over logic. Because it makes her feel good. She comes from a place of love. But you have the best of both worlds here. So trust that you know what you love, or the thing that you want to go for, it is the right thing for you. That's your new truth, right? Okie dokie. So we have soulmates coming up. This card, for months I hardly saw this. And it's been coming up a lot recently. So soulmates. Soulmates indicate, and that's what I was getting about that helping hand from the star card. We meet soulmates in every walk of life. Every walk of life. So, this could be someone that you have a romantic relationship with. This could be a friend, a co-worker, a business partner, but someone who comes in, and because of the presence of the star, I feel like it helps guide you to where you want to go next. Now, soulmate relationships are notoriously, they can be some of the most difficult relationships we get into because they show us ourselves. They are like mirrors for us. Now, a mirror doesn't become us. A lot of people they will argue with me and say, they're not mirrors. They're not like us. A mirror doesn't become you just because you look at it. 100 people could walk before a mirror. It doesn't become each of those people. Each of those 100 people will see what they want to see in the mirror of themselves. Some days you look in the mirror and you think, I look fabulous today, right? You feel good, so you see how great you look. Other days you might look in it and you don't feel great. You're tired and you think, oh my God, I look so haggard. Look at the bags under my eyes. I'm having a bad hair day. That's what a soulmate does. They show us parts of ourselves, wherever we are. And that is very fulfilling. It kind of promotes great growth, and it will show you your truth. It will show you your truth. But I like that. I like that coming up there. And it says, dearest you, all your prayers are heard and mirrored back to you. I love it when the oracle cards back up my interpretation of the reading. Love you guys. All right, so it's all your prayers are heard and mirrored back to you from the unseen realms. Be grateful, praise things before they manifest, and always ask for the highest good. When you plead and beg, that will bring you only more reasons to plead and beg. Instead, offer your prayers as sacred gifts, as a testament to your faith in a higher power. Open up and let spirit move through you and comfort you. Add meditation as a way to become empty, so you will be ready to be filled with inspired epiphanies, eureka moments, right? Peace, understanding, and joy. In this moment, your prayers are being answered for the highest good of both you and all life. Sometimes what you pray for is not supposed to happen for you, and your prayers will be answered in surprising ways. At this moment, we are listening intently to your prayers and want you to know that your highest good is our priority. All is well. And that's kind of how I live my life. I have a Sagittarius rising as well. I live my life in that everything that happens to me, it's okay for me not to enjoy it or whatever in the moment. If I don't feel good about it, or if I do feel great about it, that's just my perception, and that's okay for me to perceive it in that way. But overall, I do believe it happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, and it's always for my highest good, even if I'm too human in the moment to understand it. But I kind of feel for you, there's great clarity coming in. There's great clarity coming in at the very least. Even if you're not ready to step forward, even if you're not ready to say, hey, look at me, or, you know what your dream is, where you're headed, that clarity comes in, how you feel. I mean, it's beautiful, balanced reading, but the kind of crunch point, or, will be for you, do you have the confidence to use what you know and what you see? Because that knowledge comes in here, the tools get revealed to you because the solid foundation, right? Maybe you've not known which direction to kind of direct it. Like you've known how you feel. You kind of know what tools you have, what you want to use, what's in your toolkit, right? But you've not known the direction. Well, the star kind of indicates that. The star indicates that this is your new beginning, and it brings great hope with it.